From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. We get a peek at Tom Brady as he brings out this Tampa Bay offense. And Tom Brady in his 22nd season overall and his second in Tampa Bay.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Another try after the first down sack. Brady. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. That second down play nets a -4. A miserable start here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and very long. Now Brady. That's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 19 yards is the pickup there, but even with that, they're well short. It's 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Deontay Harris deep for New Orleans. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. First drive coming up here for this New Orleans Saints offense. And leading him out at quarterback here in 2021 in his 7th NFL season, it's Jameis Winston.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to... But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Well, Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. On 3rd down, Winston. And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, the Saints bring on their new punter for 2021, Blake Gillikin. Back deep, Antonio Brown. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are. But let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
The numbers for Jones last week: 14 carries, 51 yards. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they'll have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And we're in the middle part of this season where each week starts to become a little more important, and especially this, Charles, being a division matchup.
Yeah, you haven't fired the starter's pistol or rang the bell lap like they do in track and field for the sprint to the finish, but you're starting to eye it, aren't you? You got to pile up those wins, put them in the left-hand column, not the L's in the right-hand column.
On second down, it's Washington, and he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Winston from the gun on third down. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now Brown. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. The LSU man, Leonard Fournette, born right here in New Orleans. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Brady to throw. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2. This defense for the Saints, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Brady. Drops it to Jones in the flat. That catch good for only a couple.
Well, Charles, you talk about this offense, this week 8 of the 2021 campaign. Now, normally this would be the halfway point of the season, but as we all know, this now a 17-game regular season. Because of that, seems like now maybe more than ever, getting your open week to occur later in the season, that could be a pretty big advantage.
And he works free. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints' 16-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Jones. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Brady. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
To throw is Brady. To the end zone.
Incomplete. As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit.
And they fake it. They pitch to the tight end. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the three, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Saints will have the football back. The New Orleans offense set to take over.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
So a nice run right there. And worth mentioning their usual starting running back out this week. The hope is it's just a short-term absence. But this is where it pays, Charles, to have a quality reserve that you can turn to when you need it.
And to me, they definitely have that because this is a guy who's more than capable of picking up the slack. And he's likely going to see a big share of carries as this one progresses. And how many times do we see running backs jump into the breach and have big games?
On first, here's Washington. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Able to shake him off. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Chasing Pierre-Paul in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Back now comes Tampa Bay. Brady and the Bucs now with a 1st and 10
at their own 20-yard line. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down.
CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. We can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Brady.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. On the return, Harris.
They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Now the Saints coming back out ready to go for this next drive.
They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston, and that'll be incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Washington on 3rd and short. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
47 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
1:55 left to go in the first half of play. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Throwing, Winston. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Washington. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Washington now out of the gun. Trucks over him, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Here we go now on 1st and goal.
Trying to pound it in with Washington. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Defense really sold out there to stop the run. Understandable down near the goal line. Now on 2nd down, you have to wonder, might we see play action here and a flip right over the top?
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Dwayne Washington, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
We don't see too many scoreless halves in football, not in today's day and age, and we're not going to see one here. We finally have points on the board.
Yeah, and it didn't come easy, did it? Because neither of these offenses really gotten out of the starting blocks yet. But that is definitely an important score right there. And who knows? The way their defenses play, that touchdown might even hold up until the end.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go.
It's caught by Mike Evans. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. To throw again on 2nd down. Brady.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Throwing now is Brady. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Brown. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Again, they'll throw with Brady. And Jones has it over the middle. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The final shot before half for Brady. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Sam Darnold leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we're off to check out another game, and they were victorious in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. Phillip Lindsay, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. Cole Beasley leading the way with 3 touchdown catches.
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. On the return, Deontay Harris. And able to get this out to the 25. So here are the Saints to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting, as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10. On play action, Winston. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll run on 1st down. Washington, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston, complete to Washington. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
To throw is Winston. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
Here comes the Saints punter now. He's been terrific so far. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half.
Their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now Charles can the offense.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Throwing on second and long. Brady. Throwing left side. He's got Gronk. Complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Throwing is Brady on third down. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down.
Credit that sack to Marcus Davenport.
Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Devin White, the Bucs' leading tackler in their Super Bowl run, in on this stop.
On second down, Washington. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On first down, it's Washington, and he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll try to throw now, Winston. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The sack by the Super Bowl champion and Pro Bowler Jason Pierre-Paul.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Vita Vea breaking through to get the sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they, a dime? What were they?
15 cents.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now Brady gets away with one. Lucky. Could have been intercepted, but it falls to the ground.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Now Brady. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Brady going to fake the give to Jones and set up to throw.
He completes it to Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Mike Evans with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Buccaneers have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the 3rd.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone.
Here comes Deontay Harris from his end zone. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The 26-yard line. Staying on the ground with Washington. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Back now here live in New Orleans. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Brady now to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Gronkowski unable to hang on. And it'll be 2nd down.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then they don't come down with the football.
And now this pass brought in by Brown. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now Brady. Man open, here is Jones. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the 1st. They fake the handoff. Now Brady.
That's complete to his running back, Evans.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Into the red zone, it's Brady.
He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. Then he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Here's Brady to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And the Bucs are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal. Brady going to throw. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bucs have taken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown.
Here's Harris to return it.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right, pushing his way through. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Winston now to throw on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harris. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. Winston. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who have had the receivers on lockdown.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Throwing on first down is Brady. It's complete to Brown, right side.
7 yards, the pickup there.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On second down now, it's Jones, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
That's on the guard, Alex Kappa.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Shotgun now for Brady.
Quick slant to Brown.
And look there, not a good sight. Gronkowski down. And you just hope it's not that knee again. Well, he gets attended to, will step aside. Now a play fake. Brady. Looking downfield for Godwin. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory.